Hello and welcome to Make Sense. I'm your host, Brittany Haley, and on today's episode, we are joined by President and CEO of Leominster Credit Union, Barbara Mahoney. Thank you so much for being here today with me, Barbara.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Absolutely. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about how banking is all over the headlines right now. It is a hot topic since the Silicon Valley Bank recently had a bank run that occurred. On March 10th, 2023, Silicon Valley Bank failed after the bank run, marking the second largest bank failure in United States history, and it was the largest since the 2008 banking crisis. It was one of 3 bank failures in March this year in 2023. So you may be asking yourself, what is a bank run? A bank run happens when all of the customers panic and they try to get out a ton of money all at the same time. Investors and depositors tried to pull out $42 billion. With the scale of this attempted withdrawal, it was so large that the bank ran out of money and ran out of a way to get that money. So, Barbara, thinking about the current financial climate and the issues that we're faced with banks, what would you say is the biggest differentiator between credit unions and big banks?
Sure. First, let me say, Brittany, that we are very secure, sound, and safe. As well, we're backed by the NCUA, which is the National Credit Union Association, as well as MSIC, which is Massachusetts Share Insurance Corporation, which helps a lot. And I'll get into that a little bit further as we get into our discussion. But there are a few things that I think truly differentiate us from banks. First of all, we're a not-for-profit, so we operate under a very different structure, and that allows us to put our members first. As well, our members are owners of the credit union, so they all have a share in the ownership of the institution. Also, we do not work with venture capitalists, tech startups, or crypto investors, which can be very risky. You know, we are very careful. We manage our risk very, very carefully, both on the lending side and on the investment side. As well, any profits that we make go directly back to the member in either better rates on the deposit side or the lending side, maybe newer technologies, new products and services that we put in place for efficiency, convenience, or ease of use. As you know, Brittany, the credit union motto is people, our philosophy is people helping people. And that's what we do each and every day. Whatever we try as best as possible when we are approached by a member or a new member, to have a conversation with them, develop that relationship, scope out what their need may be, and deliver on that need. Sometimes that's very easy. You know, a member walks in, they're looking for a specific product or services, and all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and it runs very smoothly. Other times they don't fit as easily into a product or a service, but we do whatever is possible. We look at every option to work with them to try and make it work for them.
Yeah, and additionally, do you think something that happened with Silicon Valley Bank, why wouldn't it happen to us, the credit union?
Yeah, I mean, we are much more local and community focused. So we don't have a Wall Street focus, and we aren't concerned with high returns. We're not, as I mentioned earlier, we're not tied to venture capitalists or tech startups, which can be very risky. We don't have to report to investors or stockholders. You know, we are much more conservative in our lending or investment approach. And I think that we cover higher insurance coverages, which can also make the member feel much more comfortable. We take a much conservative approach to our lending as well as our investing. You know, since this happened a couple of weeks ago with SVB and Signature Bank, The environment at the credit union has been very calm. We certainly have had members ask questions, but I think it's more out of curiosity. And once they have a conversation with someone within the branch system or within the member service center, and we explain what our focus is, how well their dollars are protected with the credit union, I think that assures them to realize that their dollars are secure with us and they don't have a lot to worry about. As well as I mentioned, we have the banking of the NCUA, and on top of that, MSIC, which helps a lot in them being comfortable with, again, where their dollars are and how well they're protected. And really on the other side of that, I guess I can speak to the fact that we've taken more dollars in over the past couple of weeks with either current members who are drawing their funds out of another local banking institution or new members because they feel that the additional insurance that we offer through MSIC, they're just that better protected, and that gives them a reassurance and makes them feel more comfortable that something like that or what happened within the banking industry might not necessarily happen within our industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And why don't we dive a little bit deeper into speaking about the insurance? So you brought up the MSIC and the NCUA. What are the insurance coverages like with both of them?
So NCUA, the coverage, they offer insurance up to $250,000 for our members. So it is similar to FDIC on the banking side. Mm-hmm. What we have is we have additional insurance. So any dollars above the $250,000 are secured or insured with MSIC. And that does not have a limit. That could go up to whatever dollar amount. And that's fairly significant when you're talking with a member or a new member and you can reassure them that their dollars are protected beyond that amount. It makes them feel much, much more comfortable, and it allows them to be reassured that their dollars are protected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
That is definitely significant. All right, so I think that we've covered the basic topic here. We've gone over kind of the difference between the local credit union versus a big bank atmosphere, as well as why it wouldn't happen to the local credit union as well, and then diving deeper into the insurances as well. Do you have any additional closing remarks or anything additional that you'd like to mention?
What we try and do with our members as well as new members, Brittany, is first and foremost, we want to develop a relationship. I mean, that's critical to us. Because by doing that, we're hoping that, and hopefully we start that early on in their life cycle as far as when they might be looking to a credit union for services. So whether they want to start a savings account or a checking account, hopefully maybe when they need a car loan, they'll come back to us, or a mortgage, whatever it might be. We feel if we can solidify that relationship, it allows the member to develop a partnership with a trusted resource, and that will perpetuate or allow them or feel comfortable in coming back to us and doing future business with us. When we train our staff, we're not just looking, or we're just not looking for them to develop their expertise in products and services. We're looking for them to be more collaborative with the member and operate jointly to meet whatever needs they may have, and have deeper conversations on exactly what that might be. And as I said, as we further develop those relationships, I think they feel more secure, or they think of Leominster Credit Union the next time that they might have a need.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and summarize some key points for us here. So I think that the biggest lesson learned is you want to make sure that you're banking with institutions that are insured and you understand the kind of insurance that you do have on your funds. Additionally, that the credit union system is safe. It is safe, it is sound, it is secure, just like Barbara had mentioned, and that we're local, we're embedded in our communities, we're investing in our communities. That is what is important to us, and we're here for members throughout their financial journeys. So whatever it may be, from a simple savings account to whatever needs may be above that, that we are here for you. And I'm going to go ahead and close out here. So if there is a topic that you would like to see featured on one of our episodes, you can feel free to email us at fined@leominstercu.com with any topic that you'd like to see covered, any questions. We'd love to feature it here. And once again, thank you, Barbara, for being
You're
here
welcome.
with me.
Thank you for having me.
And we hope that this makes sense.